Thank you for joining me. I'm Zein with Train with Zein Personal Training and Health Coaching, and this is the channel where you come for your faith, your fitness, and your fun. So today I really want to talk to you a little bit about gut health. In this video, I'm going to tell you some things that I personally have had to endure and go through with my gut health and share with you what it's taught me as both a professional and just a human being. Hopefully that will help you to understand maybe some things that are going on with you in your body too. I'm going to give you some tips and some tricks to really work on your gut health and help you so that maybe you can start to figure out what's going on with your gut. Some people have completely perfectly healthy guts, but most people don't. The other thing I'm going to talk about is how your gut health actually can deter your fitness and health goals. So stay tuned through the entire video. I'll be giving you tips on how you can take better care of not just your body, but your gut in general. I want to say I'm not a doctor. I'm a health coach and I'm a personal trainer. And what I'm sharing with you today is what I have done on my own, the journey that I have had, the education that I have learned over time. I am certified in fitness nutrition. And with those credentials, I come here today to hopefully encourage you to really take care of your gut. If you feel like you have a gut issue, by all means, go see a doctor. If you like this video, help a girl out. Comment below, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel, because every time you subscribe to my channel, that tells YouTube that you like my content. Did you know that 70% of your immune system is actually in your gut? It's true. Look it up. So, with that being said, if your gut's unhealthy, you can guarantee that the rest of your body will be unhealthy. I've really come to adopt the understanding that people become sick because their gut and their immune system is unwell. Their immune system's unwell because their gut is unwell. You might ask, what is my gut? Like what's my guts? Well, your guts are in here, right? Your gut has what's called a microbiome. So it has its own ecosystem. You've got your colon, small intestine, large intestine, stomach. You've got so many different organs, okay, in our body. At the end of the day, your gut takes in the food. Now, digestion starts with chewing, right? That's where the first stage of digestion is. And then it goes down, all the way down to all of the organs I just mentioned. And they all each have their own individual job. If one of them isn't doing their job correctly, or one of them has an infestation of some type of microbe, parasite, or overgrowth of candida, or you name it, it's not going to do its job properly. If one of them aren't doing their job properly because they are sick in some way, I guarantee you the rest of them will suffer. And once the rest of your gut suffers, let me tell you, everything else suffers too. Your organs start to suffer. Your entire body starts to suffer. So a little bit about my story. I've always been pretty healthy, other than, as you know, I used to be a big drinker, I used to be a smoker, I was super overweight. I'd really say for the past 12 or more years, I've really made it a focus to stay healthy. Despite my efforts to stay healthy, I noticed that I just didn't feel right. I didn't feel good. I always felt dehydrated. I felt lethargic and tired, and I mean really lethargic and tired. I noticed that my bowel movements looked really unhealthy. I noticed that I just really felt sick. I didn't feel right. And I knew that when you're working out and you're eating healthy, you really shouldn't feel bad. You should feel good. So without getting into all the gory, horrible details, I started to have some reflux. And that was probably, 4 years ago. And I thought, what's that about? Finally, 2 years ago, I suddenly started vomiting. And I personally don't vomit. I haven't in 20 years. I hate throwing up. I couldn't keep any food in. No food. There was no food that was going in me that would stay down. Because of that, I knew that something was very, very wrong. I had been doing more research because I was noticing problems, and I really had come up with a few different hypotheses Once I could no longer hold food down, I really thought, you know what, I think I know the culprit. So I went to a doctor and I told them, hey, I want you to test me for this particular microbe. They said, no. We don't think you have that. We think you just have GERD. And so we'll just put you on these proton inhibitors and you'll be okay. And I said, no, you're going to test me for H. pylori. So you say, well, what is H. pylori? Well, H. pylori, and I'm not going to go into all the details, but H. pylori is a microbe. And truly, I believe it's Satan, because it is the worst thing I have ever experienced in my health. And what the microbe does is it goes into your microbiome, into your guts, and it attaches, it screws into the lining, okay? And then from there, it sends out an ammonia that actually literally depletes your stomach acid. Now, a lot of Western medicine will tell you, hey, you need less stomach acid if you have acid reflux or GERD. They'll say, oh, you have too much, it's coming up like that? Okay, well, we're gonna put you on a proton inhibitor and that's going to help you. And while it does help some people, at the end of the day, that's usually, not always, but usually the wrong thing to do. If you don't trust me or believe me, please do your research. What it does is take away your stomach acid. The most acidic parts of your body should be your urine and your stomach acid. You need your stomach acid. So they did do the test because I made them, and we found out that indeed I had H. pylori. I was very disappointed, but I was also glad to at least know what was going on. They put me on 2 antibiotics and they put me on the proton inhibitor. I was on the proton inhibitor for 2 days before I finally said, screw this, I'm done. I literally have never been more sick or more constipated in my entire life. I won't go into the gory details because it's disgusting, but it was horrific and I will never take that again. From there, I start to completely, immediately change my diet to a very bland diet. I started to do the research on natural ways to combat this bug. And I really went through that journey for about a year with highs and lows. I finally started to feel somewhat better. And then this year hit and we got sick, which we might have had COVID. We don't really know, but we were sick in December and January. And from there, I had to take an antibiotic. So what happens when you take an antibiotic? What happens is it kills the bugs, but it kills like all the bugs. It literally puts an explosion in your gut and it just demolishes and destroys everything. From there, your immune system's like, what do we do? There's nothing, there's nobody. And from there, you have to rebuild your gut. You have to rebuild your microbiome and give it the healthy things that it needs. Unfortunately for me, after I took the antibiotic, I ended up with horrible candida to the point to where I couldn't even function. I was so sick. Now, I want to tell you some of my symptoms that I had with the H. pylori, okay? This can happen with candida too. The first thing, before the vomiting, I really knew that something was wrong because I would have horrific vertigo. Horrible ringing in my ears, always have horrific headaches and sinus pressure. On top of what I already told you with being lethargic. I knew that my bowel movements didn't look correct, and so I already questioned whether or not I had parasites, okay? So fast forward to this year, I get candida, and it's horrific, horrible. And I start to attack it in every way I possibly can naturally. As I've gone through this, it has absolutely helped me both as a human, but also as a health coach and a personal trainer, because it's taught me that there are so many reasons why people can't lose weight. And I think the number one reason is because of your gut. I truly believe that for clients who can't and they're having a hard time losing that weight, I believe it's because something's going on in your gut. For me, I have muscle, but I wasn't building the muscle at the rate that I should be, considering the exercise I do and the way that I eat. I also would have a lot of loose fat that really didn't make sense considering the way that I exercised and ate. I started to combat both H. pylori again. After I took the antibiotic, I got the symptoms back for H. pylori. I also started to combat the candida, and I combated the parasites. After years of dealing with this, I have finally found one product that I believe is actually helping me to expel things. Now, you might say, ugh, she's got parasites on top of it? Yeah, trust me, I know. It's disgusting. And you think, well, how can a personal trainer and a health coach be so unhealthy? How can she have bugs like that? I mean, geez. Yeah, I know. Did you know that more people than not actually have parasites? And more people than not have H. pylori? And more people than not have candida? It's a real issue and a real problem. And you can get these parasites and microbes and bugs just by eating out. You can get it anywhere. Drinking water, sexual intercourse, you can get it anywhere. So you need to understand that this is a big problem. And once you have this in your system, you may not know it. You may just be a carrier like I was for a lot of years, and then you didn't even know it. You just knew you just don't feel good, you feel off, maybe you're achy in your joints, maybe you don't understand why you have so much pain in your body, tired, lethargic, you know? So long story short, you guys, I, over the past year, have actually expelled different parasites that I've seen with my physical eye, and it's pretty creepy and pretty scary and very humbling. There's also this sense of joy because you really want those things to get out. I'm not going to go into the cycles of parasites and how they work. I'm not going to go into all of that. But I want you to understand that these things, parasites, microbes, overgrowth of candida, they affect you more than you will ever know, whether you actually know you have them or not. And I promise you that if you have them, eventually your body will have said, I've had enough, I'm not well. If you are dealing with these things, I want to encourage you that there are natural ways that you can combat this, and everybody's different. So I can't sit here and say, take this, because at the end of the day, whatever you're dealing with is different than what I'm dealing with. You have to get what's called a GI map test. That gives you a better understanding of what's going on in your gut. It's basically a stool test. And so at the end of the day, these are all things that you want to really get down. If you have insurance, I suggest getting your stool tested. That's like first step. You know, blood work can be done too for certain things, but get the stool tested. And I've even heard then with stool testing that it's still not always 100% accurate. So if you feel these ways and you're suspecting something's off in your gut, take it seriously. If you're not gaining muscle despite your workouts, despite the fact that you eat clean, there's a problem and you need to figure out what it is. A lot of times people will just blame it on hormones, and while that is a real thing, a lot of times people are having hormonal issues because of their gut. So please understand, your gut is crucial to your overall health, literally. So what can you do? If you feel these symptoms and you feel these things, again, I say go to your doctor. But the other things that you can do is A, clean up your diet. Now, what works for one may not work for another. There's all these different diets out there, the Candida diet, SIBO diet. SIBO is overgrowth of bacteria in your gut. You've got so many different diets to help so many different issues. And if you've got multiple issues, you can't possibly just eat for one issue, right? So you really have to listen to your body and get to know your body and try to understand what your body needs. Certain foods will feed the microbes and the parasites in your body more than others. So you kind of have to figure out your zone. What's always safe to say is, and this is tip number one, processed food is not your friend. It's just not. Soda's not your friend. Alcohol's not your friend. Those things are not your friend. And a lot of the times, dairy is not your friend, okay? Some people can get away with some dairy, and that's great. But you gotta be really careful with dairy. And if you are eating dairy, you have to make sure that you're eating organic. That is crucial, because if you're not, you are getting antibiotics in your dairy. Number 2 tip, you need to eat organic. Like vegetables, meat, dairy, those things all need to be organic. Why? Because when you don't eat organic, you're getting all of the crap that's in the animal. you're getting the antibiotics, you're getting the crap food that they've eaten, you even oftentimes get feces. There's so many different things that you get just from consuming that animal's meat, or from consuming vegetables that are not organic. You're going to deal with GMOs, genetically modified food. That is not healthy for your body. Your body needs pure, whole God food. So you want to eat veggies and fruits that are organic. Please, trust me when I say this, you will feel better to some extent when you change that. Not to mention, they just taste better. I know that cost is always an issue with that, but trust me, the cost will not be so bad. It ends up evening out. So, if you're cutting out processed food, you've got a little more money to eat organic. Tip number 3, go to the doctor. Figure out what's going on in your gut. If you can't go to the doctor, then just like me, you're gonna have to kind of go through the whirlwind of trying to figure it out. But don't ignore it. Don't ignore what your body is saying. Listen to your body. If you can go to the doctor, great. If you can't, start researching. Tip number 4, there's some really amazing supplements out there. And a lot of times when you have gut health issues, your body is not able to digest correctly, and your body is not able to absorb nutrients. And that is what I have felt for years and didn't understand. I couldn't absorb my nutrients. It was like I felt just depleted. And it's because I was, quite literally. It didn't matter how much water I drank because I was never hydrated. They were stealing my food. They were stealing my water. They were stealing the minerals and the trace minerals and all of the good things, the vitamins in my food. They were just stealing it like little jerks. So if you want some supplements, supplement vitamin D, supplement vitamin C if your body can handle it. And again, not a doctor, but these are all things that you need to really do some research and look into. You want to make sure that you're getting trace minerals. You want to make sure that you're getting vitamins and nutrients into your system so that you can be healthy. Next tip, get your sleep. Super important. You have to sleep, you guys. Oftentimes, unhealthy guts will cause you to not rest. I promise you, you need rest. So do what you need to do aside from taking actual drugs to help you sleep. Now for sleep, I take CBD oil, organic CBD oil. I love it. It works. I'm so thankful for it. It helps me most nights to get some decent sleep. Last tip, you got to keep your stress levels down. Stress is huge, so crucial. I have a very high stress life. Not that I want to, it just is what it is right now. And it has definitely affected my ability to heal. So you want to do everything that you can to get your stress levels down. For me, I got to pray, I got to worship, and I don't always feel like it. I got to spend time with God on purpose every day. I have to work on my mindset and my attitude, especially when you don't feel well. Because when you don't feel well, you're just like, ugh, and you get angry. And by the way, gut health issues, it messes with your hormones and that messes with your emotions. It sends out all this toxicity into your body and it literally jacks with your emotions. It's a very difficult situation. You really have to, on purpose, every day, work on keeping yourself and your stress levels to some decent level. Do what you need to do. Go for a walk. Go exercise. Super important. If you need help with stress management, you can watch this video right here and it will give you some tips on how to do that. So guys, I hope that this video helps you. I hope that it helps you to understand that gut health is real. It's very serious. And if you don't take care of your gut and you just allow these bugs and microbes and parasites and whatever to take over, assuming you have them, they can make you so sick that you can eventually be lethally sick. And I'm not speaking that over your life. I'm just simply saying that it's a very real thing. I encourage you to take it seriously. Comment below and let me know, have you gone through this? What has your experience been? In fact, if something helped you, tell others, comment below and let us know what worked for you. So guys, thanks for watching this video. If you would like help with personal training, I do online personal training and I do online health coaching. It's awesome, super efficient, super easy. You've got links for the website and links for the training, both down below. If you'd like my 12 steps to living a healthier lifestyle, that link is down below as well. Feel free to join my Facebook group and of course, follow me on Instagram. I'd love to see you there. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.